Hey everybody, Metal Shop Steve right back here again today. Today what I want to talk about is it's a band that I did a video about their new album, but I put it in a video with another album review, kind of jokingly put them both together. And I feel like after listening a little bit now, they deserve a full video of their own. So that's what I'm going to do. Today we're talking about Meadows End, a melodic death metal band. They're Swedish, couple albums out. So in the previous video I talked about their newest release, The Grand Antiquation. I'm not going to go recover that album. If you want to see that, go back and check out my other video where I talked about it. But here's basically my Meadows End story. They came to my attention first through my Metalhead box subscription. I found a little a button in there and a free download, and I listened to them. And I'm certainly not a death metal guy at all, but that one caught my attention for some reason. And then I listened to that full album, The Grand Antiquation, and I loved it. And you know, I posted some stuff about it, and the guys from the band actually got back to me and said, hey, go back and check out our other albums, Sojourn, and I did. And then I even went back a little bit further and checked out another of their albums. So today I'm going to talk about those two older albums, 2016 and 2015, somewhere around there, or 2016 and 2014, I should say. I'm going to talk about their music because I think they deserve, again, their own video. So enough talk. Here we go. Let's start out with the older of the two albums I'm going to talk about, called the Sufferwell. And like I said, somewhere around 2014 this came out. And it's definitely death metal, but it's, I don't know, they kind of nailed it with the description, the category melodic death metal. It is very melodic. It is not just your standard growl and scream and lightning fast drums and guitar, and really that's about all there is to it. This is a very deep band, lyrically, musically. Anyway, off track there a little bit. Back to the album, The Sufferwell. So it starts out with a song called Kings of Greed, and it starts out with kind of a piano kind of sound. And I'll say that the other thing about this, while they call it melodic death metal, I hear a lot of progressive in here as well. I'm a huge Dream Theater fan, a huge Queensryche fan, and I would say that I compare musically, at least, maybe not vocally, but musically, instrumentally, I would say that Meadows End is kind of right up there with them. Sure, they have their moments of just straight, fast, loud death metal kind of sound, but they also have their moments where they're kind of weaving a story instrumentally as well as vocally. So anyway, Trench of Souls, the next one, second song on the album, so melodic. When they're talking melodic death metal, this is one of the songs that should stick right out there. The third song on the album, it is in Swedish, and I am not really up on my Swedish, so I apologize. But it looks like Ur Askan to me. And this one, if you could call anything that they do a ballad, this has some of that flavor. It's slow. It's kind of growl over piano, which is very unique, and I like it a lot. If I skip songs here again, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. It just means that I don't really have anything pointed to say about it. Further on down, Under a Canopy of Stars, another song here. This has a really long acoustic intro. And again, not your typical death metal type of stuff. I find it way more relative to that progressive type of style. But that's interesting because this song has a female vocal. I tried, I couldn't really figure out who the female vocalist is in this song. If you know, please put it down below. Hey, if you're Meadows End and you want to tell me who it is, please let me know as well. Hung in the Gallows by Dawn, the follow-up. Maybe one of my favorite songs on here because mostly of the lyrics. So the lyrics overall, especially for this album, it's funny because maybe not what you would associate with death metal, but it's very poetic lyrics. It's beautiful, wrapped in darkness. I think that's the best way, at least, that it comes across to me. Beauty wrapped in darkness, poetic, very thoughtful. So Hung in the Gallows by Dawn, it's a tale of judgment. It's just great lyrically. It's one of the lyrics, I believe, is it's something like, the sun comes up and you'll go down. And then This Coming Nightfall, it's another symphonic kind of sounding song. It's about the fall of man, it seems like. And in fact, the next couple kind of have that fall of man, downfall of humanity, what we're doing wrong, and kind of paying for it type of sound. So there's your doom, your darkness, your death in there a little bit too. Masses Flee, that's getting toward the end of the album here. Again, for me, it's a very Dream Theater kind of feel instrumentally, and I love it. I love what this band can do and what they choose to do. They're going to make the death metal people happy, but they're also going to make other metal fans happy as well. And then finally, Insurrection is the final song on this album. It's the longest one on here, kind of an epic type of song. It's somewhere around 7.5 minutes long. And actually a little bit of singing here. Not that there's growling, and it's debatable, do you call that singing or not? But a little bit of singing here to close out the album. Just overall, a really nice surprise. I had never heard this album before, but I went back and checked it out. So that's the Sufferwell. Next, we move on to Sojourn, and this is the one that they personally recommended that I take a listen to, and I did. And kind of a concept album feel to it lyrically, and I don't know if it was designed this way. Again, if you know, or if you're the guys from the band, please let me know. It feels to me like it's a story, like the whole album is a story. Each song kind of leads into the next a little bit lyrically. So that's the way it came across to me. I could be totally off base, but that's how it feels to me. It's very mystical, has a very fantasy kind of element to it, I believe. The song, it seems to be about someone searching for something, kind of on a journey, falling into darkness, fighting against overwhelming odds, battling, kind of losing it, and then being reborn. Kind of the fall and rise, I would say. And maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of hope at the end of the album. I'm not sure, but that's my take on the album. And I love this album, and I kind of commented back to the guys when they told me to check this out, that it feels very diverse. It feels very, I don't even know the best way to put it out there, but it's a little bit different sound-wise from the Sufferwell. It's certainly different sound-wise from the Grand Antiquation, and I believe this is something, although it's a 2016 release, I believe it's a re-release of some of their older stuff, if I understand correctly, an older collection of work here, and I really like it. It's a different sound from them. Heathen's Embrace might be my favorite track here, maybe even my favorite track on both of these albums that I talked about. This one actually, and even the following song after that, Soul Slain, they kind of start out with drums, this almost atypical sound for a death metal type of outfit. And again, it's because they're able to mix in this progressive, this melodic type of sound with their death metal. And it's just such a unique feeling. There are probably a few other bands out there that have done this. I don't know about them. If you know about them, again, tell me. But I just really like the feel of it. I like the sound of it. I like that they're not just coming in and bashing you over the head with that jackhammer drumming and blazing guitar and growling for the sake of growling. They're storytellers. They're very musical. And they're musicians, they're artists, and not taking anything away from the other people who are doing death metal, but I really like the way this sounds. And for me, that makes them really kind of at the top out there of this genre. Like them a lot. So that's kind of my take on those two albums. They're on Black Lion Records. If you have not checked out Black Lion Records yet, definitely go check that out. Support them, support that record label, and I believe they still have a pretty good deal where you can get on there and you can subscribe to Black Lion Records, maybe through Bandcamp, but you go through the Black Lion site first. You subscribe, you pay a very small amount of money per month, and you get access to all of these great bands like Meadows End. So either way, go straight to Meadows End. I'm going to leave a bunch of links down below so you can find them as well, because I really think you should check them out. And again, the one I didn't talk about today, but you should also go back and check out that video if this interests you, The Grand Antiquation. I have it kind of lumped into another video with Am and Amarth, and you should be able to find that if you just check back on the videos on the site. Check that one out, and please check out Meadows End. Gonna have some more videos coming your way soon. Thanks a lot for coming by today.